This lesson is multiplication and division of common fractions using board number 17 and the green fraction pieces. We're going to start off with a very easy example. We're going to take the number 13 piece, and our problem is going to be 1/2 times 1/2. So the 13 piece is exactly half of the entire grid. It's a 6 by 12, which is 72 squares, and the entire grid is 144. So we have exactly half, and we can see that without the lines that it is a half. You can start by telling students that 1/2 times 1/2 is the same as saying 1/2 of 1/2. So if we're going to take a half of this 13 piece, we can use the number 11 to represent that, and 2 11 pieces makes one 13 piece. So 1/2 of the piece number 13 is the 11 piece. So we're going to remove this, and this will be our final answer. And this piece, we can see it fits on the board exactly 4 times. So this piece is 1/4. So a half times a half is equal to 1/4. We can also do the math behind this, where we can multiply the numerators 1 times 1, and we can do the denominators 2 times 2. So 1/2 times 1/2 is equal to 1/4. We'll do a little bit more challenging example this time, and we're going to take 2/3 times 1/3. So what that means is 2/3 of 1/3. So we can start off with the number 12 piece, and we can see that this is exactly 1/3 of the board. It's a 4 by 12 piece, and it fits on the board exactly 3 times. So we'll flip it over to see the contrast, and we now know that the number 12 piece is equal to 1/3. We have to look into our bag and find a piece that is exactly 2/3 of that original piece, which is the number 9 piece. And we can see that if we cut this in half, we have a 4 by 4 square, a 4 by 4 square, and then we also have one that's missing here, a 4 by 4 square. So this is 2/3 of the original piece, the 12 piece. And so I'm going to remove this, and this is our final answer. So now what we have to do is we have to determine how big is this piece relative to the rest of the board. So we can split this in half, and if we do that, you can see here, I'll just put this so you can visualize, that the number 9 piece is made up of 2 number 5 pieces. And I'll put this on top, and you can see that there's the number 5 2 times. So now if we take this number 5 and we put it on the board, we can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So the number 5 piece is equivalent to 1/9 of the entire board, and since our answer was this, we can see that this is exactly equal to 2/9. So if we go back to our original question of 2/3 times 1/3, we can see that our final answer is 2/9, which is 2 times 1 on the numerators, and 3 times 3 is 9 on the denominator. So now our final answer is 2/9. We can also use this board for division. So when we divide fractions, we use the reciprocal and multiply. Reciprocal is just a fancy word for the word flip or to invert. And so what we do is we take the problem that we have in the manual, and we solve 1/2 divided by 1/2. So basically that's the same as 1/2 times 2 over 1, which is the same as saying 1/2 times 2. So basically we can show this here. We have 13. It goes on twice. 1/2 times 2 is equal to 1. So if we divide the fraction 1/2 divided by 1/2, we get 1. And this is the same as any problem. Whatever number you divide by itself, the answer is always 1. Let's take a little bit more challenging question. We're going to take the number 6 piece and place it on the board. And we're going to solve the problem 1/8 divided by 1/3. So if we invert the second fraction and multiply, we have 1/8 times 3. So to be able to do this, we have to use a combination of several pieces. So we have a piece here right now that is 3 by 6. And so we have to combine 2 pieces to make a piece that is exactly 3 times as large. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the number 11 piece, which is a 6 by 6, and we're going to place that on the board, and we're also going to take the 1/8 piece, which is the number 6, and put that beside it, the equivalent of 3 pieces of the number 6. So we have 1 here, and we have 2 in the 11, so now we have 3. So our final answer is going to be 1/8 divided by 1/3 is the same as 1/8 times 3 over 1. So our final answer is going to be 3/8. And we can confirm this by saying 1 through 9 here times 1 through 6 is 54. So 54 squares are covered on this board. The final answer for this problem is 1/8 divided by 1/3 is equal to 1/8 times 3 over 1. So we know that this piece right here is 1/8 of the board, number 6. And we know that the final answer is 3 times as large, so we know that our final answer is 3/8. This is how you use board number 17 to multiply and divide common fractions with the green pieces.